Having access to technological advances, how has that helped you hone your skills?
So, I mean, again, the technology has forced me, definitely to have to be better. If you're going specifically with the concussion type of evaluations, you know, because I have now data that I can refer back to, if I'm off, you know, it's giving me, it's basically allowing me to recognize that maybe my evaluation needs to be different. My focus needs to be a little more clear on how the injury may have occurred, the mechanism of injury, and actually where it's occurred. So, referring specifically to the vector mouth guard, you know, we know the force that's been generated potentially to the brain from an impact. We know where that hit happened on the skull. Did it happen in the back of the head, in the front of the head, on the side of the head? You know, was there a linear force? Was there also a rotational force involved? So it's really, as opposed to giving me tunnel vision approach to dealing with a head injury, the technology has definitely allowed me to have a wide range perspective in making sure that I'm trying to incorporate as much information as possible. I mean, the technology, again, with the mouth guard, puts an eye on every single player on the football field, and that's pretty exciting because, you know, watching a game and trying to watch all the players in a game of football, you know, even the best can miss something, and if no matter how close your eyes are on an athlete in a game, you know, we're always trying to pay attention to some of the bigger hits or the bigger impacts, but there's also a lot of light impacts that are going on. Referring back to the first question, as far as, you know, what the data is showing me, you know, to now have access to a potential amount of hits that are collected within a game for an individual player, or collected within a week, or within a season for that player, or a season as a whole for a team. It's really expanded my vision and awareness of, you know, the amount that even whether the impacts be high impact or whether they just be low but multiple, and what are the long-term effects on an adolescent brain. So, you know, the technology, to me, it's really going to start changing sports. It's going to start changing medicine, specifically with the area of concussions in football. I think it can make a big difference in how we start designing protocols for return to play, but also, you know, we start debating what is healthy for a young athlete, and how much should they be involved in high contact. So should we start debating whether or not, you know, football players at a youth level are wearing pads before they enter middle school or high school age, and should we start paying attention to, you know, how many subconcussive blows a lineman is taking before we say, look, you might need to rest a couple of days. You know, so we have pitchers that we know if you're going beyond a certain pitch count, you have to have so many days rest. Well, maybe the technology is going to allow us to start dealing with the concussion and the head impact in that same manner. You know, we're starting to watch not only the high impact it blows and forces to the head, but maybe the subconcussive as they are collected through a short period of time, and how we manage that, just to lower the risk. And, you know, and unfortunately, will we ever know exactly where the concussion is and how it really affects that individual? No, but we might be able to know how to at least lower the risk for that individual, or maybe lower the risk for a particular sport.